guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming. And some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Mousey. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right back into this, shall we? Alarm Chan, you are up, and let's go. Alright. If I can think of any other supplies we'll need, I'll pick those up too. Sound good? Yeah, I think so. We both nod and remain still again. Doesn't seem to be much to discuss beyond that. I can see Gavin contemplating something. Two competing impulses tug at his mind. After a few seconds of deliberation, he reaches toward me. His hand feels like an oncoming train. I wince at his speed and size, and I bunch the napkin tighter and higher. A lump in my throat threatens to choke me. He stops short and rests his wrist with his palm just a step away from me. Hey, I just want you to know that I'm gonna do my best to fix this. We can't quite shake on it, but I don't know how you feel about, you know, human contact right now, but... The tree trunks of his fingers sit, faintly trembling next to me. I promise. He looks me straight in the eye, and it's the most direct he's been all morning. The lump in my throat doubles in size. I want to get that checked out. Well, I take a step forward and rest a hand on top of his fingertip. My claws rest in the ridges of his fingerprints as I squeeze. It feels warm. A faint heartbeat throbs underneath his skin. Thank you. Gavin and I let go, and he retracts his hand and stands up. Okay, I'll get something that lets you get on and off the desk easier. He enters his room and comes out with a bedsheet. He anchors one corner under a speaker, another under a leg of his coffee table. It forms a gradual slope down to the floor. Hopefully that's easy enough to get down. Text me if you have any problems. I will. Be back soon. He waves and exits his apartment. The cat's away. The door latches like an iron gate slamming shut. The gust of wind it produces tickles my whiskers and I have to smooth them out with both hands. I'm alone in a cavernous, unfamiliar apartment. All the normal apartment living hums from fans, pipes, and ducts are magnified and oppressive. It makes me want to dive back into my nest and curl into a ball. But I can't let myself do that. Besides, the rumbling in my stomach won't go away until I eat something. I drop my napkin and approach the platter of food Gavin set out for me. The tiny scraps he left out look as opulent and impractical as a medieval feast. I really should have asked Gavin to slice these into smaller pieces. What do I even do with this? The slice of strawberry is wide enough to sit on. It doesn't offer a convenient way to portion. I guess I just grab some? I bend down and scoop out a chunk. It makes a faint sucking sound as I dislodge a hunk of the fruit's flesh. Some of the skin is covered in a soft fuzz, and there are seeds bigger than my teeth, but I bite into the gooey red clump. Munch, munch. Hey, this isn't bad! I take a bigger bite. Juice trickles down my chin. I never had a strawberry this good! The juice seeps between my fingers as I look down at my slice. Only half the chunk I'd clawed out extends past the deep red outer ring. I guess this is what strawberries taste like without the pithy stuff in the middle. Heh. I stuff another mouthful into my maw and chew on it eagerly. Man, good call by Gavin. I'm gonna have to thank him for this when he gets back. I finished my first hunk of strawberry and chowed another from the edge of the slice. It tastes just as good as the first one. Gosh, I could eat a ton of this stuff. The volume I've already eaten surpasses what makes up a normal lunch for me, but I still feel hungry. I tear off another morsel, then another. I've made my way around half the slice. This would be like a fifth burrito or something, wouldn't it? Juice runs off my lips as I binge another handful of the fruit. I lick my fingers before diving into another helping. At least something good came out of this. I nibble with a tinge of desperation, like I can't get it into my stomach fast enough. A stomach that seems incapable of being filled. I've stopped eating my way around the seeds and pushed them into my mouth along with everything else. In fact, they make a satisfying snap each time I bite into one. Oh gosh, I hope whatever else Gavin gets is as good as this. The disc is totally stripped of its outer ring by the time I bothered to slow down. Only the less appetizing inner pith remains. Oh, maybe I should take a break. I look down at my hands. They're covered with pulpy, sticky remains. Some of my fur is matted in little clumps as the sugary juice bunches it together. My face is much the same when I touch it. Some of the juice has even dribbled onto the tuft on my chest. A stiff breeze of lucidity makes me shiver. Second, y'all. Coffee time. Freshly poured coffee time. The best kind. Oh, yeah, baby girl. Oh, that's good. Crap, I lost a hold of myself there for a second. At least Gavin didn't see me like that. I fished the smallest strip of cloth out from my nest, dunk it in my shot glass of water, and wipe my hands and face. My muzzle provides a challenge to my usual routine as I dunk both hands into the shot glass and vigorously rub my face and whiskers. I dab the few drops of juice that fell on my chest. That one's gonna have to be my washcloth from now on. I've got to be more careful about indulging in that kind of stuff. can't quite tell if I'm full or not, but I decided to save the bread for later. There's still a single chore I have to attend to anyway. I press the home button on my phone and swipe the screen open with my foot. The message app is mercifully still open and I hop on it. A few skips and I pull up Felix's account information. I can't handle hopping on every letter again, so I stick one foot in the place and tap out the most efficient message I can. Sorry, but I'm sick. Can't make it in today. I hop off and stare at the screen. In no time at all, I see Felix typing his response. No problem. Go ahead and rest up. Sylvia and I can handle everything today. His response isn't a surprise. If he somehow had the nerve to make me come in after what he's put me through, I would have quit over text. I slide my feet over enough keys for the keyboard to register thanks. Okay, that's taken care of. I turn away when I catch the typing notice out of the corner of my eye. In fact, you can, if you need to take a couple days off, go ahead. Huh, that's convenient. Come on, throat. He isn't finished, though. You know, even if you're not sick, the screen is motionless for a few seconds. Then he starts typing again. You know, since you've been working so much recently, and you deserve a break. So if you feel you need one, please take it. I step back in surprise. I guess this was weighing on Felix more than I thought, but he's still not finished. If this is because of your shifts recently, I understand. I was going to tell you today, I'm going to be hiring this week to take some load off you, so I want you to know it's going to get better. If that's why you need the time off. There's a short pause before he starts typing again. Like, if that contributed to your sickness, that is. Jeez, Felix, learn when to shut up. I have a feeling he'll keep going if I don't respond, so I hop out a quick message. Thanks, gotta rest now. He starts responding before I even hop off. Of course, rest up well. As much as you need to. The longest pause yet precedes the next message. Really? Ah! He doesn't respond again, but I walk away before he has the chance. I step over to the ramp Gavin constructed before leaving. Looks to be sturdy enough as I tug on one end. Looks sort of like those emergency slides on an airplane. I've sort of always wanted to slide down one of those. My life isn't interesting enough to experience a plane crash and turning into a rodent, so this will be my only chance. I cross my hands in front of me and hop off the ledge. My heart remains up on the desk. I keep speaking in my normal voice. My heart remains up on the desk until the sheet catches me. I slide down until I reach the floor. I pop up from my improvised amusement ride. Wow, that was fun! Maybe I should crawl back up and... I stop myself. The prospect of explaining to Gavin I spent the entire time riding a sheet like a slide at a water park feels mortifying. I don't think Gavin expects me to get chores done or anything, but I can't tell him I amused myself the entire time he was out helping me. So, what should I be doing? The obvious thing would be to familiarize myself with the layout of his apartment and see if there's anything particularly useful or dangerous we should know about. I look around me at Gavin's furniture. It's just as overwhelming as my own was, but this furniture doesn't even have the patina of familiarity. The tables and chairs form the walls of canyons that I walk through the center of. I feel so exposed, but I need more confidence before I venture into the dark spaces under his couch. Alright, y'all. Coffee time. Oh yeah, baby, that's the stuff. The doors to his bedroom and bathroom are closed. That leaves only his combined living room and kitchen to explore. His apartment is cleaner than what I'd expect from a bachelor, but it's still right in line with what I know about Gavin's personality. That doesn't make every little scuff and mothball any less noticeable from this angle, though. Clumps of hair and dirt come up to my knees, and bits of food sit underneath the overhang of the kitchen cabinets. I wonder if it would be rude of me to point out the spots he missed. It takes a few minutes, but soon I'm back to where I started. Well, that wasn't very eventful, but maybe I should clean something, even if I can. I look around to see if there's anything I'm capable of doing and notice something green peeking out from under the coffee table. When I walk over, I see a small plastic disc that looks like a half-size poker chip. I pick it up. What's this? Before I can guess, I see another one farther under the coffee table. This one is red. I duck my head under the chest-high lower shelf of the table. Dozens of them are scattered underneath. Oh gosh, there's a ton of them. Are these game tokens or something? I can't come up with a better explanation, and they're a mess regardless. Well, at least I can be useful for something. I set the chip on the lower shelf of the table and pick up the second before placing it on top. The next few require me to crouch down under the table. I grab the two closest to me and stack them on top. Wait, I should probably keep the colors separate. I make separate stacks for each color and duck back under the table. The shelf is so low that I have to get on my hands and knees, but crawling feels unusually natural. I grab 2 or 3 chips at once and crawl back out to stack them in their appropriate piles. There are green, red, blue, yellow, and purple tokens. Each with a ridge edge that allows me to stack them in neat cylinders. I feel a strange sense of relief each time I set a piece on top of its pile. It feels like the satisfaction of finishing a cleaning job but magnified tenfold. Sorry, y'all. Some pieces have rolled under the couch, so I venture underneath. The couch is flush against the wall, so I doubt he moves it much to vacuum the corners. There are a few miscellaneous pieces of trash under there as well, ranging from paper clips to a stale gummy bear. I'll just make a separate little pile for those. Before long, I'm zooming in and out from under Gavin's furniture while gathering stashes of debris. Popcorn kernels and buttons go in the trash pile, and each chip is lovingly placed in its appropriate stack. The little jolt I feel from putting each thing in its place makes the next foray a little easier. A little faster. It isn't long before I've gathered all the game pieces and cleaned every piece of debris from underneath the table, couch, and side chair for good measure. There, that should do it. At least I got something done while Gavin's out. I make a few last-minute adjustments to the pile of tokens and dust my paws off. I think I deserve a break. Closer look. The climb back up to the desk is slower than the descent, but Gavin made the angle gradual enough for me to clamber back up. I checked my phone to see if anyone has contacted me during the time I was on the floor. The only notification is for whatever daily bonus Furrywoods is offering. I guess I'll just wait then. It's the first time I've been alone with nothing to do since the transformation. Last night the stress had wound me so tight I collapsed into sleep once left alone. Now I have nothing to do except stand here and think. About my body, for instance. They really did get bigger, huh? I have to lean forward to look past my breasts at the rest of me. My hands trace down from my waist to my hips, following the grain of my fur. My hips My hips jut out much wider than they should. Why the hell would turning into a mouse make me curvier? Maybe I've just gotten squashed down into a gnome body. I touch my arms and legs to see if they've gotten stouter. Nothing seems different about them. If only I had a mirror or something. Instantly I realize I do have a mirror, if an inconveniently placed one. A phone sits next to me, its gleaming screen marred by a few paw prints where I'd tapped out my messages. Oh, Lord. No, we're gonna skip that. Yeah, we're gonna skip that. Sorry, y'all. Not gonna get demonetized. Skip that. We're gonna make a little separate thing for that. Just in case, you know. Just in case. Okay. Skip. Margaret looks at herself in the mirror, noticing her new proportions. She fantasizes about using her new curves to help her attract lovers. But she can't help imagining herself with her mouse features, too. Her daydreaming attempts her to masturbate, but Gavin texts right before she's about to and breaks the spell. I scamper over to my nest and wrap the napkin around my shoulders. 1 second, y'all. Coffee time. Oh, yeah. I sit there under my makeshift blanket with my hands wrapped around my knees. Keep calm, Margaret. Don't lose control. Wait until you get help. I rock back and forth, waiting for Gavin's return. The time it takes for Gavin to return home is just as long as he said, and yet it still takes forever. He knocks on the door before entering. Hey, Margaret, letting you know I'm back, okay? I'm already wrapped in my napkin, but he still gives me a head start on standing up. He scans the room as he opens the door, and his eyes fill with relief when he sees me standing patiently on the desk. His arms are filled with bags and that he sets down at his kitchen table. Before you ask, I couldn't find any evidence of where the tea came from, so that's some bad news. Otherwise, I got some supplies I think will be useful. He leans close enough to hear me. Were you okay by yourself? Pretty much. Did the food work well? Oh yeah, it was super tasty. Looks down at the remains of the strawberry. If I was larger, I might not have been able to notice the little frown that tugs at one corner of his mouth. You were able to get down? Yeah, it was kind of fun, actually. I've even explored your apartment a little. I hope it wasn't disgusting from that angle or anything. No, your place is pretty tidy for a single guy. I did find something to clean, though. I thought I'd help out as long as you'd have me here. His brow furrows. What were you able to clean? Oh, there are these little plastic chips under the couch and coffee table. I left them on the bottom part of the table for you. Gavin turns around and sees the neat little piles of tokens. It takes him a few seconds to recognize them. Oh, those are from that game night when Miguel knocked over the board. I forgot I was missing those. Yeah, I thought I'd pick those up for you. Don't you think you had to go through it? Don't think you had to go through all that trouble. No, it was fine. I just kind of rooted around under the furniture and stacked them up. He takes a second to look and notices a pile of trash that's set next to the tokens. You picked up some trash, too? Yeah, as long as I was down there. His eyes travel back and forth between the piles of my little arrangement. You didn't feel the need to, did you? No, I just thought it would be nice of me to clean up as a guest. His teeth bite the side of his tongue. He sneaks a glance back at the remains of the berry. I'm gonna have to get used to the outsized impression every micro-expression has on me at his size. But you didn't feel like you had to, right? I shrink down. No, I just thought it would be the, polite thing to do. Looks like he's about to press the question again. I flinched in anticipation of him using the words like stash or hoard. Crap, I really was compelled to, wasn't I? I had the same feeling cleaning up last night, too. I've been whipped up into almost 3 Frenchies today already. I feel like I'm thinking so hard that he can hear me. He doesn't say a word about it. Well, thanks for helping me tidy. Don't mention it. He remembers the bags he set on the kitchen table. Oh, so I got some good stuff at a few stores. For food, I tried to keep it simple. Popcorn, baby carrots, jerky, sunflower seeds, crackers, peanut butter, and some dried fruit. I figure we can easily portion that kind of stuff. Plus, you can have any of the food I usually make. Things like sandwiches might be tough, but we can do eggs and stuff for breakfast if you'd like. I'm grateful for the consideration and change the subject. Yeah, that sounds good. I got this stand for your phone so you can use it without laying it on the desk. Oh, and I did get one thing for the pet from the pet store. They have these nice rope ladders for getting on top of stuff. Sorry, y'all still waking up. Got enough for the computer desk, the kitchen counter, and the couch. I figure that should be pretty much all we need, right? I still don't like the fact that he had to go to a pet store to get anything, but it does sound useful. That sounds like a good idea. Gavin smiles and nods before bringing out the last bag. It's pink. It's pink with an elaborate paisley pattern on the side. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks or tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.